living between two lines of longing in the endless flow of human life. There are two things that continually weigh down the heart. Not having what one wants and having it, yet still feeling empty. These two great tragedies, as the Buddha clearly pointed out, are the very ropes that bind human beings to the cycle of suffering, driven by deluded desire. Human beings search for what they like. Each day we chase something. A small possession, a grand dream, a gentle word of praise, a radiant success. On the surface, it looks as though we are living fully. But deep inside, we are actually running after the shadow of our own craving. We believe that once we touch what we desire, we will be happy. Yet when we finally have it, the emptiness in the heart remains unfilled. The moment of attainment is like a small flame flaring up in the night. It shines, then fades, joy arrives, then departs, leaving behind a thin trail of smoke that drives us to crave something else. And so we keep running endlessly, tired but unwilling to stop, hurting but refusing to let go. With every step forward, the body moves on, yet the mind wanders deeper into the fog of desire. Life becomes like a climb up a high mountain. We imagine cool winds at the summit, only to arrive at a vast and silent emptiness. Then we look toward another peak, hoping it will be different. But no, the tragedy remains the same. The two great tragedies. Not having what one wants and having it yet still feeling lacking. These ropes bind human beings to suffering, tightening till the mind is utterly exhausted, when having leads to fear of loss, and loss leads to craving again. People often believe they clearly know what they want, but if we pause and listen more deeply, we will see that the mind is like a child who never grows up. Once it gets one toy, it demands another. After studying, it longs for rest. When resting, it misses the days of learning. When one desire has not yet been fulfilled, another already appears. Before one thing feels complete, the next is already being chased. Desire is a bottomless pit. No matter how much water is poured in, it never fills. We drink endlessly yet remain thirsty. Walk endlessly yet still feel far away. Grasp endlessly yet hold on to nothing. In this constant chase, the saddest thing is not failing to attain, but that the heart never knows sufficiency. Because it never feels enough, it is always uneasy. We sleep with worry, wake up with suffering, have things yet fear losing them, lose things and then regret having had them. The Buddha taught suffering does not lie in circumstances. It lies in attachment. Indeed, happiness has no external address. It lives in the moment we know how to stop and see ourselves clearly. Happiness does not depend on material things. It depends on the clarity and purity of the mind. If we look deeply into each breath, we will see that every moment of life is already complete. Every present moment is a miracle. Everything happening is a rare lesson the universe is offering, yet we miss it. Because our eyes are fixed on what we do not yet have, and our hearts cling to what we have already lost. When we do not know how to stop, we live endlessly inside our own tragedy. Knowing sufficiency, letting go, returning home, the two great tragedies are not meant for lamentation. They are meant to awaken us, to help us see that liberation does not lie in attaining, but in how we touch each moment of life. As long as ambition steers the mind, we will continue to feel lacking. But when we live with contentment, knowing sufficiency, even the smallest thing becomes a gift. Knowing sufficiency does not mean laziness or the absence of effort. Knowing sufficiency means not allowing what we pursue to become our chains. Knowing sufficiency means doing our best without letting the heart cling to outcomes. Knowing sufficiency means living with a heart as light as clouds, unmoved by the storms of craving. When you do good, do it from sincerity. Do not expect praise when you pursue a dream. Walk with peaceful steps. Do not let fear of failure suffocate the heart. When you face loss, allow it to pass like a gray cloud. Do not clutch sorrow tightly within. One day, you will feel a surprising sense of ease.